Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan, he's a Corgi, and this is Conversations with a Corgi. And today we are having a special episode because it seems to be kind of a secret, but today is National Random Acts of Kindness Day. Actually, I think it's international. It's not an official holiday, but it is a good day to encourage people to go out of their way to be nice to one another. And the idea behind it is that one act of kindness ripples out to other acts of kindness, and people don't forget generosity when it's given to them, and that we can make a change in the world if we all spend the day doing random acts of kindness. It began as an observance in New Zealand in 2005, so it's a pretty new kind of idea here. And it's celebrated worldwide now by nonprofit groups, businesses, and individuals. And again, that idea that kindness is contagious. Even a small thing can make a big difference and ripple out through the world and make changes in people's lives. For instance, paying for the person behind you in line can make a big difference to that person. And they may say, well, hey, I have plenty of money. I'm going to pay for the guy behind me. So that's the idea behind the random acts of kindness, that one thing will lead to many other things. And it doesn't have to be a big thing that you do. It can be a simple thing, like just buying somebody else a cup of coffee, or giving up a seat when you're in public transport. And sometimes random acts of kindness are more grand, like making a surprise donation to a nonprofit or an animal shelter in your area. And this day has special meaning for me because for years I have wanted to do, a TV show, a podcast of random acts of kindness for animals. And what I wanted to do is be able to go up to an animal that I see is not being handled well and talk to the person, kind of do not an intervention, but an education session to help them see that what they're doing isn't in the best interest of their animal or them, and give them some other tools so that they might be able to do a better job. And part of that idea includes going up to people that are doing a great job with their animals and rewarding them, giving out chocolate bars and words of praise and thanks, and even featuring them in a photo on Facebook or something to say thank you for doing a good job with your animal. And I've had this idea for maybe 10 years now, and it is starting to come to fruition because I found that when I was at the Pet Expo recently, I had lots of great T-Touch harnesses with me in every size, and I would go up to people with a dog and a harness situation that was a struggle and say, could you just try my harness? I'll give it to you, walk around with it, you don't have to pay for it, knowing that they might not come back, but believing that what I was giving them was better, to such a heartfelt degree that I knew they would come back and pay for it. And in fact, nearly everyone, by the time I got it on the dog and showed them how it worked, and the dog was all wiggly and happy, they all just paid for it right on the spot and were so grateful. So I'm so happy that my idea is starting to come to fruition. And I did go up to people and take pictures of dogs that had harnesses I had not seen, harnesses that fit well, just even people who were being sweet and kind to their dog and letting him take his time, getting around the confusion and the congestion at the Pet Expo. So I have a few ideas here of things that you can do to pass on random acts of kindness today in your life. So I already gave you that idea of paying for the person behind you if you're somewhere, or picking up an extra big tip for a server if you're out in a restaurant or someplace. Another one that I love, and you can do this all year long, and I do this for myself, which is to put uplifting messages on sticky notes and leave them around. I put them in my house after I saw that movie, The Secret. I put messages around my house saying, every day is a good day, you are beautiful, you are intelligent, you are kind. And so you can do those same kind of sticky notes and just put them in public restrooms or in businesses where you're out and about. I like leaving them on the windshields of people's cars sometimes. They think they have a ticket and then it just says, "You're a wonderful," or "Today is a great day for you." And just leaving those notes around can really brighten somebody's day, including your own. And I love doing this. I have stuck things like that in library books. I've gone to Barnes & Noble and put my business card inside of animal books with a little note saying, "Thank you for purchasing a book. You must really love your animal." And things like that. So I love sticky notes, restroom mirrors, bulletin boards, and you can do this all the time. You can, even have your child do this at his elementary school. Leave notes around saying, "You are wonderful, you are smart, you are a great person. I like to be with you," whatever the notes might include. "You're a great friend." The other thing you can do is send a hug to somebody virtually on social media, or even just hug someone that you know who you haven't maybe hugged, maybe a friend but not a super close friend. I have a friend right now who could really use a hug, and we're not huggy people between the two of us, but if I see her today, I will certainly give her a hug. So, and a lot of people need hugs and they don't tell you, and certainly in this time it's a good idea to ask, do you need a hug? And certainly with your dogs, it's polite to ask if they need a hug. And I love the idea that some children have of, with a dog that's super kissy, like my dog Comet, just sitting in front of a supermarket and with a dog saying free kisses. And so many people will come up to the dog and pet the dog, and somebody says, "Hi, Tristan. Oh, Dory's watching you. She's sending you a hug over the internet, Biscuit. Do you feel it?" Her hugs are better than mine, I'm sure. Dory's Tristan's New Jersey cardigan girlfriend. The other thing, if you're going to the grocery store, put those little sticky notes of uplifting thoughts on the grocery carts. "Thank you for picking this cart," or I'm caring about you today," or "You look wonderful." I mean, whatever it is that you can think of that is a kind message. Just stick them on the grocery carts. What about the guy that brings them in? Sometimes I just put a "Thank you for bringing in the grocery cart" sticker on a big pile of them out in the parking lot, because I don't think people remember that this is not always a good job. Have you seen those guys pushing those things? There's like 40 of them together. They weigh a freaking ton. They're pushing them in snow and ice and wind. It's a very unpleasant, unthanked job. And in fact, when you get into the store and there's only 2 carts left, aren't you a little sad? So let's thank that guy by putting some sticky notes out there. Another thing you can do is go out on the sidewalk and just hold a sign with a message that is something like "Be kind," or "You matter," or "You're important today." Another idea that I love, especially in a warmer climate, is to just use sidewalk chalk and write notes on the sidewalk in your town or in your neighborhood that are uplifting and kind, so that when people are out walking, they'll see them, and then you don't have that problem of sticky note pollution being around. But when I've left sticky notes in places, I've actually watched from, like outside my yoga room, I see people coming and going, and I've seen people pick up the note and take it with them. It's like it means something when people come across something like that. So you can get the sidewalk chalk out. That's a great thing for your children to do. Bring them downtown or wherever you go when you're walking at the park or something, and just put notes around that say, "Be kind, you matter, have a nice day, enjoy the sunshine," whatever it is. Another thing that you can do is send a little thank you note to someone who's made a difference in your life, even if it was a long time ago. I know as a teacher, I've occasionally gotten thank you notes from people years later, or from the parents of some naughty students I've worked with. And my mother, too, was a teacher for 35 years, and occasionally she gets a thank you note. And if it's somebody that you know in your neighborhood, like maybe a neighbor helped you out when your car was stuck in the snow 3 years ago and you're not really that friendly, just stick a little note in their box saying, "Thinking of you today and remembering how grateful I was when you helped me." You can take a box of donuts down to the police station. A lot of people do things like that. Or the people that do the AAA work, bring them a big joe of coffee from the Dunkin' Donuts and some munchkins. Really just be grateful for the people that do things for you that don't usually get thanks. Another thing that you can do is, and this depends on where you live, get together an old backpack with a lot of things in it that a homeless person might need. Several pairs of warm socks, some mittens, a hat, some wipes, toothbrushes, toiletries, other things. And if you don't actually give it to a homeless person, just put it in a location where a homeless person might find it and have some useful things in that bag. Another idea is to leave a box of disposable baby wipes in a public restroom, because there's lots of baby changing stations, but there's not always wipes. And certainly there aren't any often, like organic, non-chemical wipes. So that's a nice thing that you can do in some of those places. And even if you go to the restroom in like your grocery store or the Walmart or someplace like that, where generally the patrons aren't using them so much as the employees, it's great to leave little notes to the employees in there saying, thank you for serving me today. Thank you for keeping this store clean. Thank you for cleaning this bathroom. I mean, a note of thanks can go a long way. You can send some fruit, or even offer to do some shopping, or send some flowers to an elderly neighbor in your area. A lot of elderly people don't always get the help that they need. And I have a friend who did Meals on Wheels, and she did wonderful things for the people that she was Meals on Wheelsing with. And in fact, one time I did send a lot of thank you notes out to those people, just saying, thank you for being you. And I don't even know who they are. And they were so touched to get a handwritten card. So find a way to help somebody elderly in your neighborhood. Walk their dog for them. Clean their cat litter. Buy them cat litter. Cat litter is heavy, and again, getting it in and out of the house can be really hard. You know, if it's a nice day and it's not frozen where you live, take their cat box out and give it a good scrub up. That's a really kind thing to do for a neighbor. Another thing is to give money to a charity, a shelter. You can drop off blankets or supplies to your local shelter. You can offer to do some volunteer work there. And of course, you can always offer to foster some dogs or cats from a shelter. But that's a big commitment. So think about it before you do that. Another thing you can do is just let somebody go ahead of you in the line that you're in at the grocery store. And it doesn't have to be today. Some people might not be going out today. The weather's pretty bad in some parts of this country today. So next week, just let somebody go ahead of you in the store. Help somebody get their child and their groceries up to the counter all at once. Sometimes that's a big fight. And sometimes I just go into the service line at the supermarket and just go up to the person that's there handling all the complaints and the returns, and I say, thank you for doing this job. You always have a smile on your face, and you're really kind to people, and I know it's a frustrating job when you're really handling people's problems all day long. So just go to the service desk and thank somebody, or even bring them a box of candy or something to brighten their day. That can make a big difference for people. We all forget that these people in the service sector are often unthanked for all the wonderful things they do for us every day. So you could even go to a business where you frequently go. Like I frequently shop at my co-op, and I might be able to think of something I could do for all the people at the checkout counter today. Even if it's just saying thank you. I'm always so grateful to shop here. You guys are always nice. You're always quick. I'm happy to come here. Thanks for your work. And I don't know, buy them a cookie. And think of some things you can do for the animals in your life and your friends' animals. Offer to clean your friend's horse's stall for her, or take somebody's dog for a walk with your dog, or set up a dog play date with your friend's dog. Take somebody's dog out to the groomer. If you are a groomer, give a free grooming away to some elderly person, and just advertise that and say, do you have an elderly friend? Free grooming for that person if you are the first person to ask, or something like that. That can make a big difference for people. Trimming their dog's toenails, even if you don't do a whole grooming, because that's a lot of time and effort. Just offer a free toenail trim for anybody over 70 for a day, or 60 or 50 at your work. So there's plenty of random small acts of kindness you can do for people and their pets today. And one of the things I was thinking about doing, I don't know if I can because my local pet shop is pretty small and pretty heavily presenced with people. So instead of going in there and putting things saying, this bag of food is awful, don't buy it, I was thinking of putting notes on things that are good in the store. Like when I go past the step-in harnesses, putting notes on them. These are great harnesses. I love mine. Or by the raw dehydrated food, put sticky notes saying, this is a great food, vet recommended. I love this food. Consider buying this. Or on the treats, these are great treats. My dog loves these. Or these are whole food, all natural, and organic, and they're an excellent choice. You know, I don't know if my store, if I could get away with doing too many notes like that, and I'm sure they'd pick them up pretty soon. But if I went in there first thing on a Saturday morning and snuck around, I might be able to put a few notes out. And certainly in a bigger thing like a Petco, you might be able to easily put some little notes out to remind people that some things are better than others for their pets. And another thing that I've done sometimes, it takes a little more organization, is set up a free talk with a store about something related to pet health and wellness. Like what I've talked about making connections with your animals, because that's neutral. I don't have to say one harness is better than another, and I don't have to say one food's better than another, but we all want a bigger connection with our animals. So those are some ideas today for International Random Acts of Kindness Day. What are we going to do for you, Tristan? We already have you a special treat today. And we have a special walk planned with the neighbor dog that he likes. And it's a beautiful sunshiny day before the snow comes in tomorrow. So that's all we have to talk about today. So enjoy some kindness today and every day. And I love the idea of leaving little notes on people's cars. You know, I've had people leave notes on my cars complaining about my parking, or, oh gosh, when I was a student, somebody keyed my door one time. I don't know what that was about, because I was on the end. I wasn't even like next to another car. But leaving notes like saying, you know, have a nice day, or thank you for shopping here, or you know, there's usually not a dog in the car, so you don't have to leave a note about that usually. But just nice, you know, be kind. Remember to smile today. You know, hug somebody you love. These are the kinds of things that you can just stick near the handle on somebody's door with a Post-it note, and it will really make them happy. And if it blows off, somebody else might find it walking down the street and say, huh, that must be a message, because it came to me from nowhere. And that's what those random acts of kindness are. You know, leave a tip for your mail person. There's so many things that you can do to be kind to people, and even just thinking about what to do can actually make a shift and bring more kindness to the world. And I am sure all of us want to be kind to our pets and help pets everywhere. And so it's a good day to think about kindness for your pets. And we'll end today with a heart hug, which I love to do because it does express gratitude and love. So you're going to cross your hands over your heart. You're going to imagine the face of a clock with the 6 towards your feet. And you're just going to push your hands around in that circle and a quarter, making a connection through your clothes to your skin. And inhale as you go around the circle. Exhale as you come down, and close your eyes and just imagine something you're grateful for, or somebody you love, or thanks to someone or some animal that you have in your life or have known. So have a great day, everybody. Practice random acts of kindness, not just today, but every day, and especially with your pets and the pets you meet in the world and the horses. Let's have some Corgi music, Tristan. There we go. Thanks for joining us today. Hugs to you too, Joyce. Everybody have a great day before the snow comes again. They said 70 here next week. I'm in shock. And don't forget random acts of kindness to yourself. Leave notes to yourself. You can even post notes for your Facebook friends. Thank you for taking such good care of your dog. I love your pictures of this dog. I love seeing his smiling face. I love seeing pictures of your dog with your kids. Whatever it is that makes your day happy, remind other people that you appreciate what they're doing. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day.